Tonight on the Black Channel, is it just me, or has Baby Driver turned into Baby Shooter? The Black Channel is live. Unapologetic, unadulterated, and absolutely uncompromising. Greetings, brothers and sisters from around the world, and welcome back to the home, the haven, the stronghold, and the everlasting superfortress of intelligent black thought. We are the Black Media, and this is the Black Channel, and I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, the voice of Black America, the Black Authority, broadcasting to you live from the only historically black college and university of higher education and learning in the cosmos. You are, of course, welcome to join us. And join us you shall, because on tonight's program here, man, I got to, is it just me? Or are we seeing more people in more places here? Is it just me, or are we just seeing more white kids? I mean, children. I'm not talking about as a euphemism. I mean children. And in some cases now, babies, armed to the teeth, running around. Is it just me? Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't want to jump to any conclusions, but I feel like we need to have a conversation about this. First story I want to bring you all here tonight, man, look here. On your screen, story from the New York Post. Indiana father arrested after toddler seen waving gun on live TV. Now wait till you hear the damn details, because this is all going to sound incredibly damn familiar. Something that you usually don't hear about happening in your family. Doesn't usually go like this. It doesn't usually go like this. By David Proper. An Indiana father was arrested after his toddler son was captured on live television over the weekend, waving around a gun as he wandered in his apartment building, according to reports. The shocking images of the 4-year-old boy walking with the gun in hand led to an investigation by the Beach Grove Police, a department that appears on the show On Patrol Live, which airs on Reels. Now, listen to this next part. Footage from a neighbor's Ring doorbell appeared to show the boy, clad only in a pull-up. He's 4 years old and still wearing pull-ups. Parents of the year here. Playing with the weapon and even pulling the trigger at one point that was shown on the docuseries on Saturday, according to WTHR. A neighbor reportedly called police, which led officers to Shane Osborne's home, where he was asked about the gun-toting tot. With cameras rolling to the docuseries, Osborne, 45, told cops he was sick and asleep when his son left the home, but that he didn't have a gun in the apartment due to previous felonies, the news station reported. Well, glad to see that he is trying to be an upstanding citizen, even with some of his challenges in front of him here. Even with some of his challenges in front of him. They go on to say, quote, "I don't have a gun," the man said, as police entered his apartment, according to a release from the show, CNN reported. Quote, "I have never brought a gun into the house. If there is, it's my cousin's. I have never brought a gun into the house. If it is, it's my cousin's." Now, if I may, I'd like to take a brief moment here to introduce you to Shane. Say hello to Shane. Those look like the eyes of a loving, doting father if I ever saw them. Those are the eyes of a loving, caring, doting, sensitive father if I ever saw them. Don't you want your kids to stay over at Shane's house? Is that not the face of a model citizen? Looks like it to me. Case closed. He says he doesn't have a gun. Can't you see? Oh, honest Shane? Case closed as far as I'm concerned. All right, pack up in the police car and leave, which is apparently what the hell happened. Because apparently that's what the hell happened. Go on to say here that a gun was later found in the back of a roll-top deck with 15 rounds, but none in the chamber, WTHR reported. One officer at the scene said the recovered weapon was a Smith & Wesson SD 9mm, CNN reported. Footage from On Patrol Live showed the father taken from the apartment in handcuffs, according to Fox 59. Quote, "It's almost incomprehensible what you're watching," Beech Grove Deputy Police Chief Robert Mercury said, according to WTHR. Quote, "I saw it the next day, and even though I knew the outcome as I'm watching the video, I was still scared. You find yourself catching your breath. I don't know how you can't watch that video, parent or non-parent, and not be shocked and disturbed." The neighbor who called police said the small child, quote, quoting now, the small child, quote, "just kept going pow, 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 pow," according to WTHR. So he's 4 years old and he already know how to make the gat bust at 4. 4 years old and already knows how to make the gat bust at 4. I got a feeling that some of Honest Shane's impeccable child rearing has in large measure something to do with this. So, but yeah, the kid already knows how to make the gat bust. Already knows. I don't know. Would I be insensitive if I said some things I was thinking? We'll come back to that. Goes on to say that the neighbor who called police said the small child just kept going pow, 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 according to WTHR. Quote, "He was standing in the middle of the hallway and he was just kind of holding it behind his back. And I thought, like, that's a real gun. I sell guns for a living, so I know what a gun looks like," neighbor Nicole Summers said. The father is facing a neglect charge, but could face more charges because he is a felon, police said. The child is now with his mother. Why does that not reassure me? Who told WTHR it was scary seeing her son with a gun, but insisted Osborne is a good father. The mother insisted that Osborne, pictured here, is a good father. It's the rest of us jumping to conclusions. That's the real issue. But she's like, don't worry. Perfectly good father here. All righty then. As I said, case closed. Beech Grove Mayor Dennis Buckley said he appreciated how quickly cops worked to secure the kid and the gun. Quote, "As with all of you, I'm mortified at what took place, and I'm so thankful that no one was hurt, especially the young child," he said. I mean, okay. Okay. Makes perfect sense to me. Makes perfect sense to me. Then you take a look at the video itself. I mean, this kid looks like a natural. I mean, he knows exactly what... I mean, first of all, what the hell is he? A 4-year-old in a diaper? Who are these people? A 4-year-old in a diaper. Who are these people? He got the gun pointing at these folks' door. Think about that for a moment. Imagine if that's your apartment that little Billy the Kid is sitting in front of. He's got the gun pointed at their door. At their door. Think about that for a few moments. The strap is pointed straight at their door. Absolutely. Oh, what's wrong here? Then watch this next part here. Take a look at that. Do you see that? Do you see that? Do you see? And by the way, you see his finger is on the trigger, right? You see his finger is on the trigger, right? His finger's on the trigger. Do you see that? Do you see where the gun is pointed and where his finger is? His finger is on the trigger. And take a look at where it's pointed. Dad of the damn year. Dad of the damn year. I wanted to show you what the rest of them weren't showing you about that. But by the way, take a look at that. Not very hard to see where that's going. Not very hard to see where that's going. There he is over there. He's pointed up. He's pointed down. Oh, no, he's not done with his reign of terror. He's not done with that. Oh, boy, I'm telling you, take a look at him. He's just like, hey, look, anywhere, have gun, will travel. I'm strapped. I'm strapped. I'm ready for whatever gonna jump off. Whatever gonna jump off. I'm ready. I'm ready. 4 years old, looking for something to get into. He's spinning around. He's going to the next door. Hey, open up. Open up. Now, I don't want to jump to conclusions. I don't want to be disparaging. I really don't. But I got questions about this. I got questions, man. My first question is, and y'all are going to think I'm very insensitive when I say this. I don't know. My first question is, based on the pedigree of the family, I'm not so sure I got much faith in the kid to be reformed. Do we need to just go ahead and arrest him now and save ourselves the trouble of the manhunt in 15 years? I'm just asking a question. He's 4 years old now. In 10, 12 years, should we arrest him? Would it be insensitive of me to suggest that maybe we should go ahead and fingerprint him now? Should we perhaps fingerprint him now? And that way, when the manhunt begins in 14 years, we got something to go off of. And I don't mean to condemn a young child. I would never do so. But I got a strange ass suspicion based on the genetics involved. Based on the family tree, I got a feeling we ain't heard the last of this kid. We ain't heard the last of him. And I could be wrong. I got a sneaking suspicion we ain't heard the last of little Rambo here. I got a feeling we'll be seeing him again in the not too distant future. We'll be seeing him again. Hopefully we'll see him before he sees us. Hopefully we'll see him before he sees us. And I'm not 100% sure if this is the Rittenhouse effect, but if it isn't, it'll do till Rittenhouse gets here. It'll do till Rittenhouse gets here. And of course, the wonderful folks here, they're not too alarmed about that. Nothing big going on here. Go ahead and let them have their way. But a lot of this would be a whole lot easier to be able to make out if we had more information. A lot of this would be a whole lot easier to make out if we had more information. Because you're hearing about incidents all over the place right now, and it's not clear. They're not releasing any information on the parents and stuff, so we can go ahead and confirm some things. Because I would love to know that in that Newport News, the 6-year-old who shot the teacher, they haven't released any information there. I wish I could tell you that was the only one, but it isn't. There's another one here, and I got the sneaking suspicion that baby shooter ain't the only one getting some deferential treatment simply based on the makeup of the environment. I got a sneaking suspicion. Wait till you hear this story from Good Morning America.
Over a public school student who allegedly wrote a kill list. The outrage over a public school student who allegedly wrote a kill list a year ago and is now being sent back to school to join former classmates. ABC's M. Nguyen has more.
We are calling you to be responsible and to do the right thing.
This morning, shock and outrage from Boone County parents learning a student who allegedly made a kill list is back in their children's school.
Well, I couldn't believe.
Jason, why are you assuming some things? Because I'm taking a look at all the parents here and I don't see a black face anywhere. So I could be jumping to conclusions, but I'm ready to go out on a limb because I don't see a single black face anywhere in the room. But you heard that right. He made a kill list. He was expelled from school. We bringing him right back. The superintendent saying that there is no threat. I mean, he's literally saying that. There's no threat. No threat to the students, the staff. No threat. Now, he's sitting down at the damn school headquarters. He's sitting down at the damn school office. The school board office. As far as the school, nope. What, me worry? No way.
To join former classmates. ABC's M. Nguyen has more.
We are calling you to be responsible and to do the right thing.
This morning, shock and outrage from Boone County parents learning a student who allegedly made a kill list is back in their children's school.
Well, I couldn't believe it. My worst fear is that one day after my daughter gets dropped off from school that I get a text over the phone of the school has been locked down and that there are casualties in the school.
Officials say
you might want to do some homeschooling, bruh, because they done left y'all hanging.
The school has been locked down and that there are casualties in the school.
Officials say an 8th grader allegedly made threats last year against several students when he was at Connor Middle School. At that time, Superintendent Matthew Turner and the school board decided to expel him. And now, 1 year later, the student is back in the classroom at Connor High School. A room full of parents voicing frustration at a recent school board meeting.
It is completely negligent to place a student exhibiting these red flags with our children at Connor High School.
Well, it's not a red flag unless you're black. If you're black, then it's a red flag. I mean, you take a look here. I don't see a black face anywhere while the school board is letting them know, by the way, we can't keep the little white kids home. So based on this, I'm like, I'm willing to go out on a limb and say, this is yet another incident here. So yeah, they letting them know at the school board meeting, it's going down.
The student is back in the classroom at Connor High School. A room full of parents voicing frustration at a recent school board meeting.
It is completely negligent to place a student exhibiting these red flags with our children at Connor High School.
Turner defending his decision, telling ABC News the Kentucky Constitution guarantees the right to a public education for every child without prejudice.
Look here. How many black children been kicked out and expelled from school and couldn't come back? The Kentucky Constitution, it didn't protect their damn rights. Welcome to upside down and bizarro world. That's how you know what you're dealing with when he's talking about, the Kentucky Constitution doesn't allow us to do that. Now, when you black, every constitution of every state in the United States allows them to do whatever they want to do to you when you're black. When you're black, the constitution of the states and the feds allows them to do whatever they want to do. Anything they want to do, and you just sitting there for the ride. Now they're telling you, it doesn't allow us to do that. So I'm like, okay, I think we know what we're dealing with.
Defending his decision, telling ABC News the Kentucky Constitution guarantees the right to a public education for every child without prejudice. Public school districts are not legally permitted to permanently expel a student.
Man, if you don't quit, these folk do whatever in the hell they want to.
We have no reason to believe there is any threat to students or staff.
Now, he didn't have to say that last part, but there's a reason why he said that. Because he's trying to protect this kid going forward. He's trying to protect him going forward. So look, with black children, it's the school to prison pipeline. It's school to prison. This isn't a 6-year-old. If he's an 8th grader going to high school, you're talking about 14, 15 years old now. So he's old enough now at this point, and y'all can go ahead and start that school to prison pipeline. But all of a sudden, they're very reluctant to kick off that school to prison pipeline. We know the damn thing is intact. We know it's intact because they've been using it against our kids. But he's sitting up here literally telling you, yeah, I know last year he made a kill list. Yeah. That was middle school. He's in high school now. So he's a year older. I want you all to think about something right quick. He was expelled for a year. What do you think he was doing at home for a year? Do you think he was at home taking English classes and working on his carpentry skills? Do you think he was at home studying for his IT certifications? He had been expelled for making a kill list. What do you think he spent the last year at home doing? Angie D said target practice. I think that's a good answer. What do y'all think he been doing for the last year? You think he been sitting at home, just sitting around learning his cupcake recipes? I'm just saying. At this point right now, they're sitting up here. What do you say, Ryan? He was at home making a longer list. The list is even longer now. Of course, absolutely. I mean, why would you think there's a threat or a problem? Why would you assume that? No way.
Child without prejudice. Public school districts are not legally permitted to permanently expel a student. We have no reason to believe there is any threat to students or staff. According to a state statute, local school boards can expel students who make threats against others for not less than 1 year.
Yes, you have to provide a free education, but that does not stipulate that it has to be right back at Connor High School.
I mean, but here's the thing. I'm reading this right now. I know the English language very well. That says for no less than 1 year. Each school board or education shall adopt a policy requiring the expulsion from school of a period of not less than 1 year. It didn't say not more than 1 year. It said not less than 1 year. Somebody can go ahead and try to rework that if they want to and say, oh, not less means, okay, but all right. No, we're going to do what we want to do.
Against others for not less than 1 year.
Yes, you have to provide a free education, but that does not stipulate that it has to be right back at Connor High School. They have plenty of options.
Parents are on edge, especially as K-12 school shootings have recently skyrocketed. 58 were reported in 2017, according to the K-12 school shooting database. In 2022, there were 302.
Yeah, that tells the story right there, doesn't it? That tells the story right there. If you make it to senior year, the bullets is flying. And, of course, we have a white school, but, of course, we're going to send a black reporter.
Reported in 2017, according to the K-12 school shooting database. In 2022, there were 302.
There are a number of school districts out
Wrong one. Misidentified you, Miss Gwen. No, ma'am, you're not invited to the cookout.
there that also impose a minimum of 1 year expulsion for similar incidents, but overall no exact protocol for all states. Also, most of these school districts often have a range of school districts out there that also impose a minimum of 1 year expulsion for similar incidents, but
now, did you hear? She just confirmed what I told you. There are other school districts that also impose a minimum of 1 year expulsion. Minimum. The school superintendent trying to tell you, well, ain't nothing we can do. We got to let them back in now.
there are a number of school districts out there that also impose a minimum of 1 year expulsion for similar incidents, but overall no exact protocol for all states. Also, most of these school districts often have a range of punishments that can change on a case-by-case basis.
and win for us. Thank you.
Case by case. I thought that was Lindsey Davis at first. I'm shell shocked. Case by case basis. That means if you black. Case by case means if you're black. If your case happens to be black, all of a sudden that 1 year minimum can be the rest of your time in school. If you're black, that 1 year minimum can now become the rest of your days in school. That can become up. Now you can get a permanent ban. I want y'all to think this over for a few moments. How well is your kid gonna be able to study in class? Think about this for a few moments. Your kid is in class. I mean, these folks are sitting up here tearing up, like literally. Literally. Imagine if your kid was in class first day of high school or whatever. You sitting in class and I'll be damned, that bastard is sitting behind your child. Think about that for a few moments. Scooter the Shooter is sitting behind your kid in 9th grade or 10th grade. He's all gouged out. His hair is all long. He's got nose piercings. He's staring up at the damn ceiling. He didn't bring no books. He didn't bring any books. No books at all. Just a cell phone with a mobile copy of Call of Duty. Sitting there in class behind your child. Sitting in class behind your kids. The superintendent literally talking about ain't no threat. There's no threat to anybody. We have no reason to believe there is any threat to students or staff. He made a damn kill list. He made a kill list. What did he have to do? Come walking into school looking like Neo from the Matrix and have to get tackled at the front door for you to believe there's a threat? He literally made a kill list, and the superintendent didn't even have the decency to just say, we'll continue monitoring the situation. He's coming out full front. We have no reason to believe there is any threat to students or staff. Oh, really? Oh, really? Oh, really? Folks, these are the kind of folks running your school districts. These are the kind of folks running your school districts. No, he doesn't have to save his ass. Remember, he's at the school board office. He doesn't actually work at one of the schools. He doesn't actually work at one of the schools. He works at the school board office. He'll be sitting there watching the carnage on CNN along with the rest of us. He ain't gonna be on the scene. Oh, we have no reason to believe there's any threat to students or staff. He couldn't just say, we'll keep monitoring this little bastard just in case he gets to kicking up dust again. Nothing like that. It's just, that's okay. Unless they're wanding him and patting him down every day he walks into school, I would say there's a threat. He went from middle school to high school. What do you think he spent the last summer doing? What do you think he spent the last summer doing? Now, I'm going to ask a bigger question here, folks. Kyle Rittenhouse, Indiana, Boone County. What do you think is the message that's being sent to white kids? What do you think is the message they're picking up from this? What do you think this says to them when they see this kind of thing? What do you think is the message that they're picking up from this? Everywhere you look, I mean, just guns everywhere. And even if you catch them and kick him out of school, he gonna be right back with the school got his back against the parents. This is the killing part about it. The school got his back against the damn parents. Let me go ahead and show the school board meeting again if I can keep my things straight. They got his back against the parents. Yeah. We know all you are just parents and taxpayers and everything. We ain't worried about that right there. We say he gets to stay in class. Yeah. You all know who little Cody is. Everybody knows Cody. I present to you, that's why the school board meeting is packed. The school board meeting is packed because everybody knows who he is. They ain't saying nothing, but everybody knows, oh, that's little Cody. Oh, little wild ass Cody? You mean they little wild ass Cody, he's no longer under supervision. They gonna let him back in? Oh, little old wild ass Cody, he's back? Everybody knows him. That's why all these folks are scared and shook. They're like, hey, everybody knows Cody. His mama ain't no good. His daddy is friends with Shane. Yeah, you know Shane with the little 4-year-old. His daddy is friends with Shane. Yeah, oh, no. We got to be at the meeting tonight. We got to be at the meeting tonight. Folks, the school superintendent said, yeah, I'm with Cody. I'm with Cody. I'm with him. Ain't no issue. Y'all overblowing this. You're exaggerating it. There is no issue. Now, I bet you if they made that little bastard an intern at the school board office, I bet you if little Cody was an intern at the school board office, the superintendent would be saying something damn different. Could you imagine if he was an intern at the school board office? Do you think the damn superintendent would be sitting here talking crazy like this if that boy had access to his job? Coming up in there with a damn long black trench coat. Yeah, he wouldn't be talking like that. So what I'm saying is, if the point they're making to them is, hey, look, we are not gonna treat you like we do them black kids. We're not. But you know, I could walk in here and kill everybody. Yeah, we'll have to risk it. You don't want us putting you in the school to prison pipeline. We got to risk it, man. So, just try to keep it cool, okay? We're going to give you another chance right here. Did you feel like you've reformed, Cody? No, not really, no. Okay, well, we'll give you some time. I'm going to kill all of you. He doesn't really mean it like that. He doesn't have any access to guns anymore, does he, Mama Cody? No, he doesn't have any of that. We've locked them in a cabinet. We've locked the guns in a cabinet, and we have given him a stern talking to not to do that. Maybe you should remove the guns from the home. Nope, can't do that. Well, why not? There's a whole bunch of niggers running around. We want to make sure that we have proper protection against the niggers. Meanwhile, your son is in the damn basement like Eminem, sitting down here writing down satanic verses. Named every damn body. Here's the real thing with a kill list. Did his parents ask if they were on the kill list? I wonder. That's the first thing, because nowadays, that's the way it's popping off now. The way it's popping off nowadays is the parents are first on the kill list. So I'm wondering if the parents asked anybody, by the way, are we on the kill list too? Apparently, maybe they didn't give them a list of the names. Because y'all know that's usually the way it starts now is they whack mama and their sister first and then go get because like, hey, I know I'm not going to be back. I got to take you two out first. I want to kill you last, but the problem is when I get to the school, I'm probably not going to be able to make it back. So I got to whack you first. So I was going to get you last, mama, but I got to get you first because I might not be able to come back from the school after I get barricaded in. So I'm probably not going to be able to get out. So sorry, mama. Where's it? Becky, where are you? What was that noise? Come downstairs and see. Blah, blah. So, like I say, it's one of those situations right there that, I got to get mom now because I won't be able to come back and see about this little bit of business later. So, yeah, he's got a whole damn kill list. Yeah, I think they need to disclose who was on the kill list. That's what I want to know. They need to disclose who the hell is on the kill list. Because here's my thing. What if you're one of the people he likes? I'm not trying to have levity about this. I'm not trying to be facetious, but what if you're one of the people he likes? Like you're going around and stuff, and what if you're one of the folk he likes? You went to the school, and what if it's like, where's the damn thing out there? What if it's like if you're the little black chick? What if you're the little black woman there? He's like, I'm going to get everybody except Miss LaQuisha. I like Miss LaQuisha. I'm going to get everybody except Miss LaQuisha. I always liked her. She was always nice to me. Yeah, I want to see that damn kill list. Because, if my name is on there, so get everybody except Jason. I'm like, oh, okay. All right. Well, there's no threat to me. I mean, yes, there is a threat, but there's no threat to me. So, on the one hand, I'm against him coming back. But on the other hand, I'm like, he already told me I'm safe. So, he already said I'm safe. The rest of you, I don't know what's going to happen, but he said I'm good. He said I'm good. What'd you say, Tetsu? He said, don't come to school tomorrow. Yeah, he going to send you a text message. Send you a text message the morning of, hello, Miss LaQuisha. Take the day off today. You don't want to be in class today, Miss LaQuisha. Just take the day off. I always liked you. Love, Cody. LaQuisha, take the damn day off. Take the damn day off. Don't go. We are in the era of Rittenhouse. We're in the era of Rittenhouse. Stay home. Trying to help you. Stay home. So in any case, I'm just asking you all, what do you think is the message that white kids are taking away from this? What do you think is the message that they're getting? The damn felonious father, they talking about we're considering giving him felony charges. We're considering charges against him because he's a felon. We're considering it. Now, if you're black, they already would have booked you with that. They already would have booked you. But for the white father, well, we're arresting him for neglect, but we don't know if we want to put that felony gun charge on him. And with the white kid here, yeah, he made a kill list, but you wouldn't want him to be kept out of school permanently, would you? So in order to wash this over, ain't no threat. Come on, y'all, come on back to class now. Everybody else come back to class. What do you think is the message these people are sending? I'm asking you, what do you think is the message they are sending? At a young age, our kids can do as they please, and the school board and the government got their damn backs. You know why? Because if black folk ever run things, they want to make sure that we don't have the ability to do that kind of stuff to them. So it's like, oh, no. He can do whatever he wants to. Yeah, but what about the kill list, damn it? We'll just have to take our chances. Leroy. We got to take a damn thing. I'm putting in for my transfer. We ain't got to take a damn thing. You sit right here. I'm putting in for my transfer. I'm transferring out of Boone County. I'm going down to Louisville or whatever. I'm out of Boone County. That's for damn certain. Folks, it's getting crazy out here. It's getting insane out here. I'm just reporting the news. It's getting crazy and insane, and it is getting crazier and more insane by the day. These are just the stories I brought to you. There are others. So just understand, if you got kids out there, if you're out there, this is what they're being taught. These kids are being taught they can do whatever. Think about the stories he got. Yeah, I can make a kill list, and I was only out of school for 6 months. Now I'm back on the scene, ready to rock. You know they're saying, well, he made the kill list at his middle school. He ain't gonna make a kill list for the high school. Man, Mr. Black, you're overblowing this. He only made a kill list for the middle school. And the damn high school? Prince Majestic, you said Boone County is almost 98% white. Yeah, I mean, I can see that. So they know the threat is real. They know that the threat is real. They know the threat is real, and they all just sitting right there with the damn superintendent looking aloof as hell, looking like he don't give a damn. Okay. Folks, I wish I could tell you it ends there, but it doesn't. We got more stories to cover here, so we're going to take a very brief commercial, non-commercial break. Before we do, I want to thank everyone, and I do mean everybody who has contributed to support tonight's program on PayPal, CashApp, Super Chat. Big shout out here to Tom Slick. I see you over there. Thank you very much for your support. We appreciate that. And to everyone else who has contributed to support tonight's program here, we appreciate that. Mark B. and everyone else here. 24/7 Cowboy, cult-like personality. Thank you very much. We're going to take a very brief commercial, non-commercial break. When we come back, folks, when they got it locked in on you, they don't stop. What do I mean? You'll find out here shortly. This is The Black Channel.
Brothers and sisters, my name is Joe Jackson. I'm a foundational Black American, and I entered the field of IT with the goal of helping the family globally. The industry's been changing, and I've learned a lot. But how did we get here? How do we navigate issues we face in the workplace? How can we get our house in order? Read The Concept and Intricacies of Being Black in IT, now on Amazon, as well as the best-selling Guide to Being Black in IT. Go to beingblackInIT.com.
Order yours today to experience all the benefits of Ash Kickin' Natural Body Butter. With skin so smooth and soft, you'll thank us for it. Shop Ash Kickin' online. That's ASHKICKIN.com.
Higher Life Recruiting and Consulting specializes in direct placement. If your company is looking to hire top talent, or you are looking to start a new career, our network of professional recruiters can help. We provide recruiting, LinkedIn lead generation, access to our professional network, paid job postings, interviewing, and more. Check out our specialized services: information technology recruiting, STEM career consulting, sales recruiting, hiring process consulting for your business, resume writing, LinkedIn profile consultation. Follow us on Instagram and LinkedIn and get higher with us.
The 23 lights can help you find your flow. Revolutionizing healthcare to self-care. D23, making a healthier
Hi, this is Brenda Starr, creator of Poetry with a Purpose and author of the book Pressed But Not Crushed. Pressed But Not Crushed is an anthology of political poems that address current and historical issues in American descendants of slave population and African American population. The book describes slaveries and its residuals, Jim Crow segregation, social depredation, and other relevant issues to American descendants of slaves and African Americans, including the current political climate that does not address our issues.
This is the Black Channel. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, the Black Authority. Very glad to be with you all here. And we're going to go ahead and open up the telephone lines here. So the number is 646-787-1933. That's 646-787-1933. Your personal access code to the Black Media. Shout out here to B1 Media's Lifesaver and Miss Dawson. Thank you very much for your support. We appreciate that. Before we do, though, I want to go to one more story here. This is a story that I put up. I want to go to one more story. And while all these other people are being given a pass, folks, they ain't giving a pass to a damn thing. These folks are steady out there. Have you ever seen one little restaurant have this much damn trouble and publicity?
But we start tonight with a shocking lawsuit filed against one of our city's most popular restaurants. The lawsuit against Turkey Leg Hut accuses them of not paying their grocery bills. Fox 26's Matthew Seedorf first broke this story and is outside the restaurant tonight.
So first, it's noise ordinance. Well, first it's what's that? A smell audience in the ordinance. Oh, they smell like, smoke, and it smells smoky all the time. Then it's a noise ordinance, and then it's other complaints. Now it's this.
Not paying their grocery bills. Fox 26's Matthew Seedorf first broke this story and is outside the restaurant tonight.
A lot of people surprised by this. We've all seen the lines outside Turkey Hut. This place can be packed any day of the week, but now lawsuit claims they haven't been paying some.
Now, this little scummy ass, alt-right haircut having ass, scumbag ass, so-called reporter with this ill-fitting shirt on. Looks like he got the shirt from Suge Knight. And it ain't fitting him at all. And yet, there's a reason why I have this to say. When we get later in this thing here, and I don't know if those of you who live in Houston, if y'all know, I can't believe that this Matthew Seedorf doesn't have a rep down there after what you're going to see on this segment.
Be packed any day of the week, but now lawsuit claims they haven't been paying some bills. One of Houston's most popular restaurants, known nationwide.
Houston's most iconic restaurant.
It's all over TikTok.
Yeah, that's how I heard it.
Yeah, so they told us about it. It went viral on TikTok.
I told you I had to stop at Turkey Leg Hut.
We've been there for the long lines. Now Turkey Leg Hut being sued more than $1 million, accused of not paying their food vendor.
I'm really surprised that, they are in this situation, considering that they're a pretty busy, high-volume restaurant.
The recently filed lawsuit claims Turkey Leg has failed to pay U.S. Foods roughly $85,000 for produce sold, adding as of this date, Turkey Leg owes U.S. Foods almost $1.3 million.
Okay, now, here's how I'm coming to this. I don't know the details or particulars. Everybody knows who U.S. Foods is. You've seen their trucks on the freeway. I'm not here to speak to the validity of U.S. Foods' lawsuit or the non-validity of it. I'm not here to speak to that. Not at all. I'm not getting involved in that part. It's the reporting of this that I find to be especially egregious. Jason, what do you mean? It's basically everything after this point.
Obviously, there was an agreement signed with the restaurant and that actual distributor. It will make it difficult for him to outsource any other vendor.
Okay, this Gordon fella. Well, he if he's not with U.S. Foods, why they got him speaking on this? I don't. Who is he to speak on them? But okay, they got him talking. They didn't identify him as he's just an expert or he just works in the food business. They didn't give any context for his comments. They're just posting it.
In the city.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying it's a false claim, but it is far-fetched.
Customers here from Houston and beyond learning about the allegations.
I really hope they get it figured out.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, what the hell? Now, this is the part right here that upset me. So he's talking to strangers And then he's talking to the customers. Hey, did you know there's a lawsuit against the Turkey Leg Hut? Did you know there's a lawsuit here? Boomquisha and Shintikia? Did you know, Soul Sisters? There's a lawsuit against the Turkey Leg Hut. I mean, really? Will someone explain to me, if there was a lawsuit against General Motors, if there was a lawsuit against Olive Garden, would he be outside in the parking lot telling each of the customers, oh, there's a lawsuit against this Denny's restaurant here. Did you know that? There's $1 million lawsuit against them for racial profiling. How do you feel about that? He's asking random customers who have nothing to do with this. They have nothing to do with it. They have no knowledge. They don't know the particulars. They don't have any inside information, but he's asking the customers.
It is far-fetched.
Customers here from Houston and beyond learning about the allegations.
I really hope they get it figured out. Yeah, me too. It's a really good business from the little short stay that we had. The food was really good.
I don't believe it. Always rumor, this one said that, she said that, he said that. I don't.
Okay, it takes some old folk here who've been around long enough to understand if a white man is shoving a microphone in your face, making egregious comments about a black business that has been under nothing but constant non-ending siege, first thing she's saying, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. But furthermore, you see what I'm talking about? He's just going from person to person in the parking lot, asking the customers, ooh, did you know that? Hey, Soul Sister, did you know they're being sued for $1 million here by the food vendor? Hey here, SWV, did you know that they're being sued for $1 million by the food vendor here? Hey, Grandma Ethel and Myrtle, did you know they're being sued for $1 million? I mean, really, who in the hell is this scumbag ass reporter they got sitting out here? Who the hell is this guy? I find it hard to believe that this Seedorf jackass doesn't have a rep in Houston. I find it hard to believe that he doesn't after pulling a scumbag ass move like this. People, could you imagine if a dealership was being sued in Houston? Does he sit out there in the parking lot? Hey, this dealership's being sued for racial profiling. How do you feel about that? If you're gonna buy your new Kia. What the hell?
I really hope they get it figured out. Yeah, me too. It's a really good business from.
Believe it. Always rumor, this one said that, she said that, he said that. I don't really believe it. I bet you my paycheck.
Y'all see their names there? Cynthia and Hattie. You got some old black women from the neighborhood, Cynthia and Hattie. Cynthia Russell and Hattie Burnett. They live near the Turkey Leg Hut, so they in the neighborhood, so they seen all the drama go down. Cynthia and Hattie, stand up.
That I don't really believe it. I bet you my paycheck.
You?
I bet my Social Security check.
Cynthia Russell and Hattie Burnett have lived near Turkey Leg Hut for about 50 years. You're not surprised? Why not?
Because these are black owners. And this neighborhood used to just be for blacks. Yeah. So, if they could make it hard for you, they would.
Oh boy, I know that hurt his damn feelings that they said that. Why do you think the issue is? Because they a black business and your ass is sitting here trying to be messy on top of it. He's lucky he found them and not me. I'd be like, hey, look here, back up, Chad.
So, if they could make it hard for you, they would.
We tried speaking with someone from Turkey Leg Hut about the lawsuit.
$1.3 million. That's a lot of money.
They talking to somebody at Turkey Leg Hut. If he's not the damn owner, what is this guy doing? Folks, what the hell is he doing? Tucker Carlson, what the hell is this dude doing? See, this is what happens right here. If you want to know why it is that folks get leery about letting suspected white supremacists in their damn businesses, this is why. This is why. He's outside the business, he's up inside the business asking the damn servers or the maitre d's about a lawsuit. They don't have any inside knowledge about that. You would never, what I'm saying is you would never do this. He would never go to a Red Lobster, Olive Garden, Ruth's Chris, Five Guys. He would never do that. He would never go to a Chevrolet dealership, a Hilton hotel, and be asking random, guests at the hotel if they knew whether the hotel had a lawsuit against them. He wouldn't be doing that. You've never seen this before. You've never ever seen this before. What the hell?
No one here right now that can talk, so I'm sorry.
A co-owner for the restaurant responding to our Fox 26 web story with this Instagram post saying, check the track record and we have paid taxes, etc. on time. U.S. Foods owed us money for advertising, etc. on trucks, Instagram, and all.
Now, that's not actually the entirety of what they said. So let me go over the entirety of what they said here, since Seedorf can't be bothered to do so. What it says there is to Fox 26 Houston, if you're going to tell the story, tell the whole story. Understand this comes from a PR lady that's hurt and also ex-employees that are really hurt because of not being a part of the brand. Understand, check the track record, and we have paid taxes, etc. on time. $100K a month and payroll $85K a week and never missed a beat. So you'd figure here that this guy who's sitting up here doing this story got a whole lot to say, and yet he's running around talking to random customers. Got a lot to say to them, talking to random customers. But what he's not doing is doing his job about just simply sticking to the facts here. He isn't doing that. He isn't doing that. So this is the kind of thing I want you to understand. When I see that right there, I'm like, hey, wait a minute, man. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Since when do they start doing that? Since when do you start doing that? When is this good business? Where they do this at? When did this start becoming the way you're supposed to do things? When you do that. So with a black business, like I say, you're always finding yourself in that situation when you're successful. And if they can't get you any other way, here they come. If they can't get you any other way, here they come. Here they come. Here they come. So you can see what they said here. Understand, check the track record, and we have paid taxes, etc. on time, $100K a month and payroll at $85,000 a week and never missed a beat. One thing about it is that they try and bring up old mess when they don't have nothing to talk about. U.S. Foods owed us money for advertising, etc. on trucks, IG, and all. It's always three sides to a story, and their side ain't the truth. Now, notice he doesn't read the next sentence, which I think is a good question to ask.
Taxes, etc. on time. U.S. Foods owed us money for advertising, etc. on trucks, Instagram, and all. It's always three sides to a story, and their side ain't the truth. We also received a statement.
So like I say, you can see that wasn't the end of what they said. They went on to say, why would a company let a bill get that high? 'Cause they did not at all. I have dealt with bigger fish, but hold tight. Trust me, this is trash. Money numbers don't lie on no end. But you notice he didn't address that. He didn't say that part. He didn't say that part. So it just lets you know the beat goes on. The beat goes on. If you are successful, they've been hounding these folks right here. This is why we have to get reparations. This is exactly why, no matter what our socioeconomic status, we need reparations. Because even if you do somehow figure out a way to elbow your way through and get yourself viable, they're not going to stop. They're not going to stop. And every time you turn around, somebody is trying to drag the turkey leg hut into court. Every time you turn around, they're going to the government to say, hey, we need to shut them down. We need to shut them down every time you turn around. So this is all the more reason why we got to have reparations. We got to have reparations because this is the way it is in America. Now, don't worry about the white kids. I mean, they're not going to get, sued, drugged into court or anything else. As a matter of fact, and we'll let you sit at home for 6 months and then you can come back refreshed, recalibrated, and possibly reloaded, and then you can go ahead and come back to class here. And don't worry, Dad. Yeah, we know your kid was outside playing with a gun, but we don't want to hold that against you. You already got a felony, so why would we arrest you for it? So yeah, we can go ahead and do that. Turkey Leg Hut, yeah, hold this lawsuit and this investigation and this city code enforcement investigation. Go ahead and hold this. Go ahead, hold all of these. But in any case, the telephone lines are now open. The number is 646-787-1933. That's 646-787-1933. Your personal access code to the blackest radio program in existence, the only one of its kind on planet Earth today. And of course, as always, you are welcome to join us. We're going to go ahead and see about taking a few telephone calls here. Let me go ahead and get caller from area code 469. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Thomas calling from Dallas, Texas.
Thomas from Dallas. What's on your mind?
Jason, this is Bruce Beach all over again. What they're trying to do to the Turkey Leg Hut. I mean, this is what when we have successful businesses, this is what they do. They target us. They try to take us down. You just give them a year from now, they're gonna be doing racketeering charges on these on the Turkey Leg Hut. When we're black, just like Black Wall Street, we didn't need them, so they was looking at us like, well, they making all this money, so we're just gonna take them down. And that's what we got to go through as black people, and it's a shame that we have to go through that when we have successful businesses. And you know good and well that there's no way that business will be able to stay open if they owed that much money.
Yeah, I mean U.S. Foods.
We know that's a lie.
U.S. Foods would just keep delivering to them to the tune of $1 million. You know how much food they would have to go through for something like that to happen. So that sounds shady just on its face right there. Even if you were delivering, for example, let's just say they were delivering $100,000 worth of food a week. Let's just say they were doing that every week. Do you realize that would take 3 months, 2-3 months before you get to $1 million? Y'all just let them keep doing that month 1, month 2. You can't miss a car note that long before they come repossess the car. You can't miss a car note that long. You let them go that long to $1 million. That's what I'm saying. So something in there on his face of it isn't right. But that didn't keep the scumbag ass reporter from doing what he did. And what I'm saying is this isn't reporting right here. This is advocacy. This isn't reporting. Why are you harassing their customers? There's no issue with the customers. What is the input that you're expecting from the customers? They are not a subject of litigation, nor are they filing litigation. So why are you discussing the litigation with their customers? The customers are not claiming that anything's wrong. If you couldn't get U.S. Foods to give a statement on U.S. Foods' own behalf for U.S. Foods' own lawsuit, then that should be the end of that. Cut to sports. Why in the hell are you harassing their customers? That part right there is that is shady as hell, and that shows you it's a whole bunch of folk in the area don't like that. They don't like that. They're letting you know this is the way it always is. See, the game is supposed to be rigged. The game is supposed to be rigged so you could never get this far along. See, this is the kind of story that they tell about entities like McDonald's. Y'all know when I did my broadcast, the founder. They're used to that kind of story about McDonald's and Starbucks and Krispy Kreme. Because everybody dreams of starting a restaurant business and everybody dreams of being able to start. When they get started, there's a line around the corner and down the block. But these are black folk, yet again, because it happens so often, yet again, who've done it. Yet again. And instead of the story being about why is this business constantly being targeted for harassment and nuisance lawsuits, instead you got the damn reporter sitting out there in the parking lot being the nuisance. Being the damn nuisance.
This reporter was sent there by you know who. You know, he's not just out there by himself doing this. This is. I mean, they coming from the top with this. So I mean, I feel sorry for them. I mean, them some good brothers and sisters that own that restaurant, man. And it's I mean, we got to stand with them, man. It's some kind of way that we got to stop this crap, man. This don't make sense.
Well, like I say, I mean, this is the thing for us to understand, which is why we've always been continually pushing for reparations for us as a group. If you want to know why it is that regardless of your socioeconomic status, we need reparations, this right here is why. It's the 21st century. It's the year 2023, and they have not stopped harassing these people yet. Hasn't happened yet. They're not allowed to just run their business and do what they do. Every time you turn around, remember the news media was sitting up here trying to give them a hard time about a damn dress code. Now, the white businesses, folk need to dress like they got some sense. The black businesses, Turkey Leg Hut is kicking up controversy by enforcing a dress code. The white businesses do it all the damn time. They do it all the damn time. So do you realize this restaurant is a tremendous, resounding success? And yet, every time the media shows up, they got nothing but bad things to say. Nothing but bad. How is it you can be this popular? The customers love you, but the media never has anything good to say about you. They only show up to try to kick dirt on you. That tells you that they're worried because black folk are not supposed to be economically viable. You're supposed to be, see, a line like that is supposed to be outside of a white business. That's the way they see it. That line isn't supposed to be outside your nigga shack. That line is supposed to be outside of a white business. Y'all also be over there at Chick-fil-A. It's okay for Chick-fil-A to have folk lined up, but that line's not supposed to be there for you. You're supposed to be just barely hanging on by your fingernails. You're supposed to be just barely hanging in there. That's where you're supposed to be. Just barely hanging on. But if there's going to be a line of people, it needs to be the white establishment. And if your business is too good that we can't make it that it doesn't become that on its own, we'll start fighting and make it that way. So next thing you know, just this non-stop, never-ending campaign of harassment. That ain't accidental. That's deliberate. Because they know what that means. Understand, most black people of the last 40 years after desegregation, we didn't see black businesses anymore. Certainly not black businesses that were in the neighborhood and readily accessible. Let me say that again. In the neighborhood and readily accessible. Because every time you turn around, black businesses usually try to figure out how to get where the white side of town is or somewhere else. They don't usually try to stay near where the neighborhood is. So you see, that has an effect and makes an impression on the neighborhood that you can do more than sit up here and dream about being a basketball player or a rapper or a dope dealer. There's other businesses and there's other ways of making it pop off, and you can do this too. Because remember, back during the segregation days, Dr. Claude Anderson has talked about this, Dr. King. We used to have folk in the neighborhoods you live next to your doctors. Malcolm X and them talked about how if you're going to live around black folk, don't dream about integration because you're going to be in a black neighborhood because that's where you'll be. You'll be in a black neighborhood and the black professionals will be there. It doesn't matter what you got. Y'all all going to be together. So you used to have kids who saw the black doctors and black lawyers and black business people next to them in their neighborhood. These were things they saw on a regular basis. This wasn't a story about some far-fetched entity way out in the ether somewhere like some fantasy. This was right in your city where you live. This was right around the block from you. You saw it every day. You see black folk calling shots, making an economy, the image that you can build something that the world respects and is renowned. The Turkey Leg Hut is world renowned, and it didn't, understand this part right here. It didn't take them 100 years or 20 years or 10 years to get there. That's scary. That's scared with all the obstacles that are supposed to be in your way. You're supposed to need about 20, 30 years before you become a name like that. You're supposed to be 20 or 30 years before you become a name like that. You're not supposed to be able to do this in just a few years and all of a sudden you blow up. Man, this will be, we rigged the game with all these roadblocks in your way. You're not ever supposed to make it this far. They made it that far, that quick. The message that you are sending to young black people is, I can do that too. That's the message you see to it because they can't deny what they see. They know, hey, I can do that. They walk in there, I can do that.
That's power.
That's changing minds. That's changing minds. So yeah, they're like, hell, we got to stomp this out. We got to stomp this out. You doing too much. You're sending too clear a message to the next generation. They're driving by this place every day and witnessing black excellence every single day. The spot to be at in Houston is not Ruth's Chris. The spot to be at is the Turkey Leg Hut. And everybody's calling it. They are terrified of the impression this makes on the next generation. I'll let you have the last word.
Yeah, and guess what? And they started out with a food truck and came up. I mean, they came up out the mud. And what it's all about is you get the chance to hire your own people and make difference in our lives. That's what they're scared of.
On our terms. Thank you very much for giving us a call here tonight. You're not supposed to be able to exercise power on your terms. You're not supposed to be able to do that. You're supposed to exercise power on their terms. How they say. You're not supposed to be able to do this on your terms. You're not supposed to be able to call hands on your terms. That isn't supposed to happen. Because next thing you know, this becomes an epidemic and then a pandemic. You're not supposed to be able to make that happen on your own. This is supposed to be something you go begging and pleading to every damn body else for. You're supposed to go begging and pleading to everybody else. You're not supposed to be able to make nothing like that kick off on its own. Not at all. Not at all. There was another story here for those of you who have followed me. If you are subscribers here, if you're not subscribed to me, you need to be because you fall behind. There's another story. You remember last week we were talking about that pizzeria in Vegas? There was a pizzeria in Vegas that I covered here last week. We were talking about Dr. King and this young black man on TikTok. He did a review of their place and the business has blown up. As a result, business is blown up. Well, there's another place in Vegas. There's another place in Vegas, and you see who they show you at the beginning here. It can be a little misleading, but there's another place in Vegas. And what if the roles were reversed?
You've seen it on TikTok. Collard greens, short ribs, white sauce, mashed potatoes, maybe most importantly, Chef Trish's famous mac and cheese. It was a food truck turned online sensation, now in a brick and mortar restaurant of their own.
When the food is good, I start dancing, and I was cutting up in there.
After going mega viral, Taste Bud's Grail Kitchen is making moves from this food truck parked behind this North Las Vegas Buffalo Wild Wings.
What is this?
Okay, so what they're showing you here is, I don't know why it's cutting down the resolution, which it shouldn't be doing, but what they're showing you here is that these folks they started with their food truck, and from there, quality, they done slipped below the radar, and the folks wasn't able to shut them down like they wanted
Restaurant of their own.
When the food is good, I start dancing, and I was cutting up in there.
After going mega viral, Taste Bud's Grail Kitchen is
Okay, I think that's Taste Bud's Creole Kitchen.
After going mega viral, Taste Bud's Grail Kitchen is making moves from this food truck parked behind this North Las Vegas Buffalo Wild Wings.
What is this? Is it Christmas again?
To this space off Lake Mead and to...
Okay, now I want you all to take a look at this. They started with a food truck, and now take a look at the rest of the environment here. They adhere to the principles that Dr. Claude Anderson said. When you walk up in there, and I'm from Louisiana, I don't know if these folks are from Louisiana necessarily, but they're latching on to the things that give us cultural advantages, that if you want authentic Creole, you making that Creole food, you got to come to black folk to get that. So when you walk up in there, you take a look, the drawings on the wall, and they don't really have crawfish like that out there, but the drawings on the walls, you're marking your cultural territory. You're marking your cultural territory when you walk in there, the iconography and the symbolism and everything. You're marking the space of who built this and what it's for. And by the way, take a look at it. It's bright, it's clean, it ain't all raggedy. The chairs aren't all torn up. plenty of space, it's bright and it's clean. This is the kind of thing we don't want this becoming a trend among black folk. Ain't you supposed to be figuring out how to twerk your ass on TikTok? You're not supposed to be figuring out how to do this.
Gator, Latricia Nelson and her husband, Marshawn.
Christmas again?
To this space off Lake Mead and Decatur. Latricia Nelson and her husband, Marshawn Nelson, are the chefs behind the counter.
This is the face of someone who knows they popped off.
And in front of your phone screens.
We'll get waves of people. Like the first day, it was waves of people from Detroit. And then the next day, it was waves of people from San Francisco, the Bay Area.
Their online presence attracting tourists off the Strip.
I found it on social media.
And locals out of the house.
I'm from Chicago, and living in Vegas, you get a lot of visitors.
Okay, far be it from me to suggest that we shouldn't have a customer. Far be it from me to do that. But Mr. Moskowitz, it seems to me you're on a nationwide or a worldwide tour. So in your case, I don't know. Far be it from me to stop a black business from getting a customer. But I'm like, can y'all get him the salad? Yeah, I know he came for the grits and the steak and the red beans. Can we get him the salad? If you don't have a salad, can I go across the street right quick and see if we can find him one? So in his case, yeah, I know he came for the macaroni and cheese and, you know, the everything else that he came for the soul food. But in his case, I think you need the soup and the salad, Mr. Moskowitz.
And every single visitor I've had, I've taken there.
I'm convinced I just had the best mac and cheese of my life.
That is actually the best doing video I've ever done.
Over 4 million have seen this video by Talia Edrelin, better known to 225,000 TikTokers as @Dolls.
Restaurants were like, I don't have the patience to learn this new skill set. Can you just take it over for me?
She's worked with national brands from Dutch Bros Coffee to Carl's Jr. and manages the social medias for several Las Vegas restaurants.
Okay, now here's the part right here that pisses me off. Now this is the part right here that upsets me. You done took a story about a black business. This is a 2-minute and 23-second piece, and we barely get a minute in. Barely get a minute in, and the damn story is done shifted about the black folk in their restaurant to the social media influencer. They didn't do this on the story that I posted up last week. They talked about the restaurant. They mentioned the black fella in passing. They mentioned him in passing. So here we sit up here is a 2-minute and 23-second piece and barely a minute in, and we done hit the swerve. We done hit the swerve, and all of a sudden it's about the social media chick. Okay, I can see that different. They're talking to her and interviewing her. They didn't do that for Old Boy's Pizza Shack that we talked about last week. They didn't do that. So all of a sudden they're talking about her and her credentials and who she wants to work with and what she wants to do. So I want y'all to understand, every time we turn around, we can't just be great and it sticks to us. We can't do that. And if you start succeeding, they're either going to try to tear you down or see if they can direct the energy and the focus onto somebody else, preferably non-black.
I'm convinced I just had the best mac and cheese of my life.
I'm skipping past
a
this.
Necessity for any modern business looking to grow.
Social media is the new billboard. It's the new, our grandfather might have read the newspaper. We pull out that phone. Taste buds? Oh, I got to go there.
Reporting from Lake Mead and Decatur, Ryan.
Yeah. Every time we turn around, you see, we can't just run our businesses and be good. We can't just run our businesses and be good. These folks, and understand something, this is how he ended the piece, by the way. Those are the owners of the business. And remember, I was telling you at the beginning, I don't like this reporter here at the beginning. I told you, I let you all know I'm not liking what I'm seeing from the beginning. And next thing you know, you get a minute in, and here he is sitting around. These are the owners of the business, but this is how he ends his piece, is with the little Asian girl. And I'm not saying that she didn't do anything here, but what I'm saying is, I'll be damned. You sat up here and directed the whole piece away from the folks who actually own the business and put on somebody else. That's not legit. That's not legit. That's bogus. That's not legit. That's bogus. I'm showing y'all the end of it where he's wrapping up here so you can see what happened. He's ending the piece here and things. And then back to the studio, 2 minutes and 23 seconds. But before we got started, back to the studio. So the folk who actually run the business got to get made into a damn almost not getting seen. They're basically a walk-on onto their own damn business. Whose business is he promoting here? Recognize what's going on. Caller from area code 804. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
I'm Cassie Roan from Henrico, Virginia.
Okay, you say Kathy from Henrico?
Hello?
Yes, you said Kathy from Henrico?
Yeah, Virginia.
All right, Kathy, what's on your mind?
Well, I wanted to confirm what you said earlier. I'm a child of integration, okay? And before integration, we had everything in our neighborhoods. All our businesses even had a toy store. We had on grocery stores. We had on restaurants. We had everything. We almost didn't have to leave the neighborhood. Our doctors, our lawyers, our teachers, everything was in the neighborhood. And then integration came and they broke everything. Everything fell apart. The neighborhood started going down and people had to move. They were like forced to move. They stopped all the services and everything. It was a forced thing. It wasn't because we wanted to be around white folks. It was that we were used to a nice, clean neighborhood where people knew everybody. And this was over the north side of Richmond. And we had everything. We even had an ice cream parlor. Black-owned businesses everywhere. Okay? So I wanted to confirm what you said.
You know, that's interesting.
Everything in our
that's an interesting take on it there. Because how old are you, Kathy?
I'm 64.
Okay. I've traveled around this country multiple times, as you all know. I try to know as much as I can. When you go to these vacation spots, you know, in Florida, Miami Beach, Jacksonville Beach, Daytona Beach, when you go to Hawaii, you go to those places, you understand they got local shops there. I mean, those aren't filled with a bunch of Baskin Robbins and things like that. They're not filled with a bunch of Baskin Robbins. So if you go to those places, it's usually going to be somebody, and they got like the ice cream shops are going to be locally owned. It'll be somebody who moved to California or moved to Florida or moved to Hawaii and set up shop there. That's what you have in those places. That's what we used to have. You devastated our economy. Next thing you know, if you want ice cream, you got Dave and Buster's or you got Baskin Robbins. That's what you have in a black neighborhood. You want to go eat somewhere, you got Waffle House or IHOP. That's what you have.
And I want to say one more thing. I was listening to your thing tonight, and I went to comment. They had undescribed me. They had undescribed me because I've been subscribed to your channel for a while. So now I can't even comment because I was going to put it in the comments.
Well, like I say, definitely so this is how they keep white YouTubers rich. You got to understand we built platforms and because we don't have hundreds of millions of dollars in venture capital, just understand what they do here is that we get shadow banned, we get oppressed. And when I talk about reparations, I mean reparations across the board and I'm glad it started in California. Because in California, it needs to begin with a discussion of direct cash payments to the descendants of American slaves, but it needs to end with Silicon Valley embarrassing us for all of their penalization and oppression of our channels and discrimination against our channels. If they have their way, the only thing you're going to look at is Joe Rogan and Logan Paul and Mr. Beast. That's what YouTube's supposed to do, is for the enrichment of white men. So you just got Logan Paul, Joe Rogan, and Mr. Beast, and that's all you can get. And everything else, okay, you just be minor, and they just hold you down and oppress you. They're not sitting up here yanking viewers from their channels like that. So at some point, we're going to deal with them too. Thank you very much for giving us a call here tonight, Captain. We appreciate that. Let me get caller from area code 574. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Good afternoon. Good evening, Jason. My name is William, calling from Northern Indiana, Elkhart, Indiana.
All right, William from Elkhart, what's on your mind?
Well, welcome to Indiana. With Beach Grove, that is definitely one of the sundown towns outside the 465 area, inside the city of Indianapolis. I went to school down there in the late 90s. And I'm telling you, brother, it is ridiculous down there. And that's just one of many of the white child privilege, that they're not putting this on the national stage like it should be, because that little kid could have harmed somebody, anybody, if that gun was loaded. And case in point, this ain't the first time that stuff like this happens when it comes to white privilege in Indiana that gets swept underneath the rug. With the three judges who got into it with that black guy, Hispanic guy at the White Castle. They swept that underneath the rug. With the young white kid who killed the two black dudes in the same day, and the judge let him out pending his trial, long as he didn't flash any guns on his social media. And guess what? He did it again. He flashed all those guns on social media, and they let him out. He's still out. And that it's one of many stories that happens in Indiana that nobody talks about. And it's really crazy, because this spotlight is on my state. I'm from Northern Indiana, but I went to school in Indianapolis. So outside the 465 area, it is sundown town to this day. And it's ridiculous. And I'm glad you spoke on it. And I'll land my plane right there.
Thank you very much for giving us a call here tonight. And I mean, definitely, I think everybody wants to talk about the Deep South, but the Midwest, it is no different. In the North, it is no different. Anybody who thinks they are safe is really just deceiving themselves. Caller from area code 443, you're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, my name is Abdul. I'm calling from Baltimore.
Abdul from Baltimore, what's on your mind?
Hey, I just wanted to speak on that issue with the restaurant thing. I've been hearing a lot about turkey leg cut, and it's crazy because when you mentioned the pizzeria, which I saw that broadcast not so long ago, how the brother came up and was doing his thing. He had the best food, the best wings. Now they want to flip the script and kind of mirror the same thing they were doing. You're like, oh, okay, I had the best mac and cheese. This is it. I say, so you don't want, like you said before in the broadcast, they don't want a black man to be the sole individual to actually boost somebody else's business who isn't black as well. Because now they're going to look at him as like a soul, whatever it is. They're like, oh, he's the one that said the food's the best. And because of him, everybody else is on the wave. Now they're trying to do the same thing at the turkey, not the turkey leg hut, the other spot you just mentioned.
Taste Buds.
Another pizzeria. Right. That's the one that's the French, is that the Creole spot you mentioned?
Yes.
That's the Creole spot, right. That's what I meant to say. Yeah, and then you got this out of nowhere social media influencer, the best mac and cheese. But like you said before, you can't have anything. Apparently not.
Well, no, I mean, and definitely the media isn't being neutral bystanders. The media is taking an active role in trying to steer this. So a white business does well. They show the black fella, but don't even talk about the fact that I think folks were telling me that he got like a deal with Chipotle for one of his food items that he was making. Not a word about that, but this black business here, they start off wrong, and I told everybody starting off wrong is going to get worse from there. So they start off with them, and they basically use this as an advertisement for the Asian girl. And I'm not saying that she shouldn't get any credit for it. Absolutely she should, but it's so damn shameless and obvious that they hijacked a piece that was supposed to be talking about a black business that y'all sit up here and throw up obstacles and try to sabotage everything that they do. You know that's how y'all do. And instead of the focus staying firmly on them because they're the ones struggling, they're the ones trying to create an economic base. This young lady already has an economic base. They're trying to make an economic base. And so for them to sit up there and do that, that is criminal. Thank you very much for giving us a call. Now, let me get a call from area code 662. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Yes, Jason, this is Aaron calling from Tupelo, Mississippi. And I was going to make a comment on the black TikTok and the Asian TikTok. You know, it seemed like they kind of twisted, you know what I'm saying? They kind of twist the story because the white guy was already, his business was about to go under. And the black guy came in with his TikTok and saved his business. But they tried to make it the same way with the Asian girl saving the black people business, but the black people business was already successful.
You know what? Thank you very much. Actually, that's a very good point to make. The black business was not struggling. They were already successful. Turkey Leg Hut is not struggling. They're already successful. So thank you very much. That's actually a very good distinction to make, even though they didn't say that, but that's a very good distinction. She didn't sit up here and they were not struggling already. It's great that, to have publicity raised. It's always good to have more business. You don't need everybody going down to Caesar's Palace and whatnot where they got the overpriced ass food at the casinos, the Cosmopolitan and Caesar's Palace and Hilton World Resort. You got all the overpriced ass food in those places. So it's good to know there's some places you can go to in Vegas, especially where our people are, where you can go ahead and patronize that. That's cool. And that's the kind of thing they need to know about, but they ain't struggling. There's the real thing about it. They're not struggling. It's just like, it's one of those things, brother, that you ain't a real business until the white folk show up.
It's like a white savior kind of thing.
Yeah, even if you ain't in trouble, we're going to act like we saved you or something. So as a black person, this is why I'm saying that I don't want it to be a situation where folks are acting like they really did anything for them, because this leads into the deceptive idea that we can't be successful until the white folks show up. That's why I like about the Turkey Leg Hut. When you go to the Turkey Leg Hut, you see a line of black folk out there. Not to say that there's non-black folk who don't go there, and that's great, that's good. But this idea that you aren't validated until non-black people show up, or you're not viable, I don't want that to become an idea that latches on. You made very good points. Thank you very much for giving us a call. Let me get a caller from area code 843. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hi, Jason. This is More Black from Beaufort, South Carolina.
Okay, Morvac. You said Morvac from Beaufort?
Oh, no, More Black from More Black from Beaufort, South Carolina.
More Black from Beaufort. What's on your mind?
Hey, everything you're saying tonight, it's taking me back. I don't know if you recall, maybe a year or two ago, there was this business this gentleman had created online. It was called Redmond's Popcorn. It was out of, I think it was Minnesota. And somehow he got on one of the shows. I think it was Stephen Colbert or something like that. And this guy, his business was doing good. He's, of course, a black-owned business. And he was doing amazing. But when he got on that late-night show, somehow he blew up even more. So, Jason, the ironic thing is maybe 2 days later, he had an online business. The health department came in and shut him down there. They said what he was doing was, unethical, and they just put all this trumped up stuff on him, right? So he had to close down. He didn't have the money or the capital to, find an actual decent place that they thought was up to code. And the funny thing is he tried to open back up, and all the things that he did, it didn't work. Ironically, maybe a few months ago, one of the movie theaters down there, they had to go in partnership with him, supposedly go into partnership with him, and then they helped him to open back up. But it's from my understanding, they've taken over a great deal of his business.
And this is yet another reason why we need reparations. You don't need $5 million to start a popcorn stand.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need that.
Right.
These are not multi-million-dollar things. So because of our completely decimated socioeconomic status, they can shut us down with just a notice from the damn health department because there basically are no resources there. And even if you do have something that helps you out, like I say, in his situation, there should have been some black folk who jumped up and said something. Some black folk who jumped up and did something. Mm-hmm. So we don't have the economic capital. We don't have the economic resources. And if you are black, you are in an economic war zone. If you start rising, here they come. Claws out, fur flying. They are coming at you. Period. They're coming at you. So this is yet another reason why we need reparations. And in California, they talking about a few 100,000, but this is why we got to have millions each, because we got to be protected against this. Because we can't just come out and just start our business and keep going. As soon as you poke your head up, it's like, oh, hell no. You think you're going to change the future? Hell no. So no, all the more reason that we got to have reparations, period. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get caller America code 832. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
What's going on, Jason? This is Jared from Houston, Texas.
All right, Jared from Houston. What's on your mind?
Yeah, I just wanted to speculate on the turkey leg hut, man, because I think the story, I actually heard about it yesterday, and I was actually very interested in hearing you talk about it. And I would say that being in Houston, I think that the turkey leg hut is more of a threat because black people can see that as something they can do in their replicating something they can replicate in their neighborhood. And I think that's why it's more of a threat than them just trying to shut down one black business. It's like trying to stop, I would say, economic progress with the black community.
Well, I would go further than that. The turkey leg hut is very quickly becoming a black-owned institution. Follow me. The turkey leg hut is very quickly becoming a black-owned institution. And it is the most dangerous type of black-owned institution in that it is economically viable. So all the harassment campaigns and all the nitpicking and all the regulation and stuff trying to do it, you ain't been able to sink them yet. And the money is there. So when they talk about the turkey leg hut, they're letting you know we got a problem with this. Long lines outside the place. You are doing too much. You're too damn economically viable because you didn't have to hold a GoFundMe. The people are lined up with their dollars. So we can't sink you the way we did everybody else. Now, for folks, I'm sure you're aware. In that area there, for example, that's supposed to be gentrified, and the turkey leg hut has kind of turned that whole agenda on its ear. It's kind of put up a big stop sign right there. So the gentrification agenda has hit a damn brick wall at the turkey leg hut. They had that prime. Oh, we're going to get this. Now it's hit a big ass brick wall. Now, when you have an institution in a neighborhood, y'all are familiar with the idea of an anchor tenant. So you've got this thing. It's now world renowned. It is worldwide known. This is the kind of thing that you can use as a center and build other businesses around it. This is the kind of thing that can be a center and an anchor tenant that you can build other businesses around it. You can have the turkey leg hut here. You can have the black restaurant over there, the black laundromat over there, the black ice cream shop over here. This is the kind of thing that is classy and sophisticated and is got good business and everybody's looking at it. They know the rules. This is the kind of thing you can start building an epicenter around. And more than importantly, you've captured the hearts and the minds of the young people that this is something they can do. That this is something that they can do. All of a sudden, a whole lot becomes possible and you're not looking to outsiders. So just understand when we talk about how long black dollars stay in the black neighborhoods, how long black dollars stay in the black community, the turkey leg hut is like a vacuum. That's not supposed to be. So they got to stamp that out quick, fast, and in a hurry. If you let them stick around for another 10 years of viability, at that point there, you starting to talk about turkey leg hut 3, 4, and 5. If that's allowed to kick off, game over.
Right. And let me add this on, because you actually spoke on gentrification too. And let me say this, they're gentrifying that area and the areas around. So when it comes to the turkey leg hut, that area, the value of that property is going to just skyrocket right there. And with them being right there and, you know, showing the opportunity that they have, the value of that property and the value of that area is going up with gentrification and the fact that they can bring that volume of customers over there. And what I see is, like, this is going to be, like you said, it's going to be an anchor, that's for sure. But the turkey leg hut is going to be like a blueprint that Black people can copy off of if they seize on the opportunity that we have right now. And I want to add one more thing. Usually, like I said, I'm from Houston, man. Usually you can catch Roland up there every now so often. But I haven't seen him cover this at all or come out for them. So what's up with him, man?
He's an opportunist. He's only going to talk to them if there's something in it for him. The same as anything else. And like I say, the turkey leg hut, I'm going to tell y'all, they talked to Roland. They wouldn't talk to me. I haven't drug them or nothing. But by the way, Jason, why didn't you talk to the turkey leg hut? We tried. They talked to Roland. They wouldn't talk to us. And what I'm saying is they need to have a constant, steady drumbeat of folk to sit up here and give counter programming in their benefit, because they could wind up losing the communication war. The local media is obviously against them. So they need to recognize that, by the way, you might be making a bunch of money and still get buried. Thank you very much for giving us a call here tonight. Shout out to Andrea Roberson. She's tonight's Super Chat Babe. Thank you very much for your support. We appreciate that. Big shout out here to my man, Cult-Like Personality. Thank you very much for your support tonight. Let me get caller area code 504. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Good evening, Jason. This is G from New Orleans.
G from New Orleans. What's on your mind, brother?
Yes, brother. You have a great broadcast going tonight. I just want to say, as always, let me say this, especially when you're talking about the turkey leg hut and other businesses, Black businesses. It's always sad that when we have something that we can get going, that these things fall apart. We know what white media is going to do, and what you're showing highlights everything. They try to make themselves out always to be make themselves first above stuff, even though we built everything and they built it off of our shoulders. I'm looking now at just reading the headlines about the turkey leg hut being sued for over $1.5 million. I don't know how they'll survive. But, part of this stuff we have to do is stay on code with each other. That's the only way we can survive. And there's a supply that comes in demand where we're supporting each other, but they also have to be stable and on code. Like, they should have been talking with you the minute they had problems with those businesses that when they wanted to get shut down and they were facing these injunctions, and you reached out to them. You got as many subscribers, probably more than Roland has. People listen to you. People listen to Tariq. People listen to to Professor Black True. People listen to Taisha Essex and others. So they need to come to us when they have problems like this, because we could help them. And they're going on Roland's show, and I'm seeing and hearing somebody puts up on Facebook, Roland was calling out the boule, which I'm shocked to even hear that. But it's sad when we see stuff like this regarding the little boy with the gun and so forth. That father is still responsible for his child having that gun in the first place, because regardless if he's claiming his story that he didn't know he didn't have a gun, bottom line is parenting is a 24/7 job, period. Your baby shouldn't be outside the door. What is he doing outside the door in the first place?
Being white. I mean, he's 4 years old. He's outside. Look, I'm white. I can do this. I'm white. I can carry the gat. Let me tell you, if that had been a 4-year-old black child, they would have the father and the child in the backseat of the police car. They would have both of them arrested. Damn right. If there was a black child, the father and the 4-year-old would both be in the back of a police car. One for negligence, one for terroristic threats and brandishing a firearm. Thank you very much for giving us a call. Let me get caller area code 310. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
What's up, Jason? This is Gerard, man. I'm calling out of Houston.
All right,
But I
Gerard.
see you recognize that LA number. So I just moved back to Houston, grew up here, spent a lot of time, went to college in Atlanta, came back here to take care of my pops, and spent a lot of time, went to elementary school in Third Ward, right around the way from Turkey Leg Hut. Spent a lot of time in that area and was really taken aback. I was in LA in Inglewood, which was super being gentrified, of course, for the stadium coming. So I got to see it up close as it was happening there. But to get back to Houston and see how bad it was, because just like with the sister who called from Virginia, when I grew up in Houston in Third Ward, it was like that. Like she was saying about, the politicians, the who's who, all of the doctors and lawyers stayed in right around the corner from Turkey Leg Hut. Big sprawling homes with the big giant yards. And so you come back and you start cutting through the neighborhood, you can see where the white folks live because they put gates around their home, and all of the homes with the gates, it says Black Lives Matter. But I want to say it's not just the Turkey Leg Hut, and the same kind of reporting that they did where, they're out there trying to embarrass the people in front of their customers. There's a gas station. There's a lot of bars and restaurants in that area. And so you know how in black neighborhoods or where black people kick it, the gas station, is popping. You're going to see all the cars with the big wheels and the loud music. And so the story is about loud music, but they showing the girls twerking and all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like the presentation of the news is not about what the story is about. They really try to make it look extra bad. So you could just see how hard they are trying to take over that area.
Yeah, that's why the Turkey Leg Hut was smart. They were smart to stop all that, change the dress code and everything. They were smart to try to combat that image of it. The only thing is, what they need is a full-time, they need a full-time response to that. These folk ain't going after them every once in a while. It's just a steady drumbeat of it. They would really be doing themselves a lot of favors if they started taking that more seriously. Roland Martin ain't got your back. I'll let you have the last word.
The last thing I wanted to say was on the story about Las Vegas. Not only did we not hear from that couple good, we never heard the beautiful wife co-owner's voice. Not one time did we hear that. And then they also promoted the Buffalo Wild Wings. You know what I'm saying? Like, just at every turn, it's trick bags everywhere, man. And with that, I'll land my plane. Be one.
Black First, brother, thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get a caller from area code 914. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, good night, Jason. My name is Michael. Right, I'm a truck driver. I'm in Fort Worth, Texas at the moment, but from New York. I think that what they're afraid of, brother, it's if that restaurant start like franchising. I think that's what the problem is. They're afraid of them start like franchising. That's why they're giving them a fight, because if they start franchising, that's it. And it sent a message that to other black people, hey, you could do this, you could franchise and become big. So
I mean,
they're
right
gonna give
now,
them a fight, brother.
Right now, when you think about it, the Turkey Leg Hut has really the ability now. I mean, they could get a $5-10 million line of credit. They really could take out a line of credit big enough to set up shop in one or two other places. They really could just hit the ground big. Let me give you an example. Imagine what a Turkey Leg Hut would do in New Orleans.
Yeah.
I want y'all to think about that. My stomping grounds. Imagine if the Turkey Leg Hut hit Interstate 10, 3-4 hours, and they announced, we're going to open up a second Turkey Leg Hut in New Orleans. Brother, it's on and banging. It's on and banging.
Yeah, that's what.
Or we're going to open up another Turkey Leg Hut just up 45 in Dallas. We're going to open up another one in Dallas. Just imagine that. Another Turkey Leg Hut in Dallas and another one in New Orleans. Or let's just go ahead and hit it. Turkey Leg Hut, Houston. Shivas, you ahead of me. Turkey Leg Hut, Houston. Number 2, Atlanta. Imagine what a Turkey Leg Hut in Atlanta, dude. Shut it down. It's over. It's over. It's over. At that point right there, I'm telling you right now, off of just those 2 locations, you're no longer measuring the value of Turkey Leg Hut in millions. You're now having to value it in hundreds of millions. Imagine Turkey Leg Hut off of 285, off of 85. Man, look here, I could go all day. Imagine that. And they would have the wherewithal to be able to build one like that. They got a damn Waffle House in the middle of downtown Atlanta. So just imagine a Turkey Leg Hut. You know, I wouldn't want to put it right in the heart of downtown because you know you're going to get a lot of business. So I would rather be a little bit away from that because like where Hooters is and stuff, I don't think that's really viable to have that set up like that. But I mean, you could do it. You certainly could. I just don't know if you want lines of people out there like that downtown. But you could definitely make it happen. It's not too much competition in New Orleans. New Orleans is wide open. If you talk about American food, that's the epicenter of Black American food is New Orleans. That's the epicenter. Atlanta and New York and stuff, that's good to have. But the cultural epicenter, the cultural heart of Black food in America is New Orleans. You ain't never going to get away from that. Never going to get away from that. Never too much competition, please. Every time you go down there's never too much. Shout out to Loretta's. I'll let you have the last word.
Yeah, I believe that's what is a lot of fear. I believe that's where all the fear is coming from. Because they fear that it's a well-known restaurant. Because I'm a truck driver, I'm on the road, and I hear about the restaurant. So I think the fear is that if they start franchising, that's where a lot of the problem is coming from, is fear because they're blowing up,
I mean, fear of franchising, fear of merchandising, fear of inspiring other people. This is a threat on so many. What we're finding out is that the level of viciousness and vitriol that destroyed the Black Wall Streets is still here. It's still alive and it's still well. They don't have the ability to drop literal bombs and dynamite on us anymore. So they're targeting you with economic and regulatory dynamite. But the threat is still very much present and very much real. Thank you very much for giving us a call. Let me get caller from area code 757. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Ernest from Virginia Beach.
Okay, Ernest from Virginia. What's on your mind?
Yeah, man. You doing a brilliant job tonight, Jason. But you absolutely right. I do construction. Every time we do a project, they got a Chinese restaurant, they got a nail shop, they got a supermarket, and the supermarket is the epicenter of all of that. We never include it. We always exclude it. We need them reparations, man. I'll land my plane right there.
Thank you very much for giving us a call here tonight. Next time you're on the construction site, see if you can steal a 9-volt battery to put in that smoke detector. Caller from area code 914. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
You can hear me?
Yes, we can.
My name is Travis. My name is Travis, and I'm from Westchester, New York.
All right, Travis from Westchester. What's on your mind?
Yeah, I'm gonna make this very quick. I just find it funny that they're doing this to a Black business, but like they don't do nothing when it's like the Albanians. They be doing some crazy stuff in their stores, and nothing happens to them. The triad right now is the ones that's smuggling the fentanyl in America right now. Nothing happens to them. Nothing happened to the Russians and the Broadwell, the Russian mafia. Nothing happens to their business. You think the police don't know that they're the ones that just smuggling all the drugs and stuff in the country? Nothing ever happens to them. Especially since I'm in New York, so I know this stuff is going on. The Albanians, the triad, they don't care. A lot of the money they use to start their businesses is drug money, and nobody cares. But it's a Black person that makes money legally, and it's a problem.
Yeah, I mean, all these other look. We are always the target. Other people are just present, and occasionally they might do too much and become collateral damage. We are always the target. Period. End of discussion. You're always in the crosshairs, no matter what else is going on. Thank you very much for giving us a call. Now let me get caller area code 804. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Ben, Richmond, Virginia.
Okay, Ben in Richmond. What's on your mind?
Well, I'm just curious to see. It's just interesting to me how few blacks are actually getting getting in on this weed business and CBD business. There's allegedly nonprofits running around here talking about there's a disproportionate number of black people that were incarcerated due to what Biden did back in the day with drugs and things like that. And this nonprofit is supposedly, especially in Virginia, supposedly targeting people, trying to help people that were caught up in drug arrests to be a part of the new green weed business. Of course, they expanded it to minorities and all others and whatever, after stating blacks were disproportionately disadvantaged. But, these sorts of, this is another reason why we need reparations, because we're always victims to such ploys where our moral authority is being used and manipulated and being used to feed others.
Well, I mean, in California, for example, I covered this years ago. In California, they basically allowed the Albanians. There's supposed to be a system where they apply by computer and whatnot, but then you go through this stacks of applications, and amazingly, it's just Albanian name after Albanian after Albanian. So a good portion of the list of the applicants were Albanians in Los Angeles, and lo and behold, very few black folks. So this is not accidental. You are up against a system of white supremacy, which is why from here on in, it's got to be, if we're going to talk about legalizing weed and whatnot, there need to be reparations for our people. There needs to be reparations. You targeted the descendants of the slaves for your drug war. The descendants of the slaves need to get first in line and need to be set up to run. You targeted us because we were running it illegally. We now need to be set up to run it legally, period. We're already overqualified. Thank you very much for giving us a call. We're already overqualified. So no, if you're a descendant of American slaves, we were the ones who set it up. We're overqualified. We set up the business and ran it illegally. It's time to go ahead and let us run that legally. Time to let us go ahead and just run that legally. And we can't be shy or bashful about it. We cannot be shy or bashful about what our claim is. And understand, you talking to somebody who does not smoke weed, and if I could outlaw it and destroy that plant tomorrow morning, I wouldn't do it tomorrow morning. I'd do it tonight. It serves no beneficial purpose. Weed is the last thing black folk need to be fooling with. However, if it's going to exist and if it's going to be sold, damn it, we supposed to be running it. I have absolutely no love, regard, need, or condoning of weed whatsoever, and getting rid of it would be a great start. But if it's going to exist, damn it, we gon' run it. This is coming from a guy who's never had a cigarette, never had alcohol, never used an illicit drug, has no use for any of them, would not bother me if they disappeared tomorrow, but if it's gonna be here, if it's going to be here, and if it's going to exist, then damn it, we gon' run it. Period, point blank, and end the discussion. If it's gonna happen, then we gonna run the damn thing. And we need to be unapologetic and straight up the middle about that. If it's gonna be here, that's on us. We got that. We got that. We got that. From the bud to the blunt. From the bud to the blunt. We need to be running that from the bud to the blunt. Period. This coming from a person who has no love for marijuana whatsoever. I got no love for it. But I'm practical. I'm practical. And if it's gonna exist, then we supposed to be in charge of it. I damn well know that. I damn well know that. So let it be what it's going to be. There's a whole lot going on out here. I want all of you to keep your eyes and your ears open. It's the Wild Wild West. They doing any old damn thing. There's a toddler with a gat somewhere near you. So keep your eyes and your ears open. We're going to go ahead and wrap things up here tonight. I want to thank everyone who has contributed to tonight's program on PayPal, Cash App, or Super Chat. Sanaji, B1 Media is a lifesaver. Thank you very much for your support. We appreciate that. If you are new here to the Black Channel, welcome to the haven of intelligent black thought. We do this every weekend. Click that red subscribe button. Click that yellow notification bell. Join us each and every time we're here. Check your subscription status. Check your subscription status. I want all of you listening to me right now recorded. Check to make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. YouTube is declaring war against us as well because YouTube wants to make sure they enrich only white men. And black people with a large base of followers is a game changer. Especially if you ain't shaking your butt cheeks. So all of you, whether you think you have or not, check your subscription status right now and make sure you're subscribed. If you're listening to me live or recorded, do not delay and don't procrastinate. Check your subscription status right now. Make sure you are still subscribed to this channel. And if you haven't been to our website, BlackChannelFilms.com, you want to go there and check out our groundbreaking best-selling documentary work, 7 a.m., Gentrified, Race War, all available on DVD and streaming. Go to BlackChannelFilms.com. That is BlackChannelFilms.com. I want to thank all of you for joining us here tonight. And this concludes tonight's broadcast of the Black Channel. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, the Black Authority. And until next time, my brothers and my sisters from around the world, remember, eat this, drink this, sleep this, think this, breathe this, feel this, live this, love this, everything we are, Black first.